all right? And we're hosting them, and they're going to play outside. So bring a chair, bring a blanket. If it rains, we're going to move inside, but we're not going to preach to you. It's just we like the band. They're going to play for us. We let them practice in our fellowship hall. So it's a relationship we have with them. It's called A Concert in the Yard with the Depot Town Big Band. Free food and drinks. Bring a blanket or lawn chair. Okay? July 13th, 7 to 9 p.m., 613 Martin Place, Ypsilanti. And then I want to tell you more about AAA Service Network. I want to give you their phone numbers, actually. So be sure to call them at 810-226-0047. Look, if that AC of yours is not acting the way you'd like right now during this global warming period that we're sustained in, then definitely call AAA Network. We're in South Lyon, 248-796-0318. Any one of those numbers will get you through to them geographically, depending on where you are. 734-864-4340. Once again, 734-864-4340 or AAAServiceNetwork.com. And you can find their ad. Look, folks, lots of coupons here. AC and heating system up to $500 off, okay? Repairs, $20 off. Water heater repair, $20 off. Plumbing repair, all in the current newspaper, currentonline.com. Okay, thank you. Now, we've got a couple callers on the line, and I'm going to ask them to wait a bit because I put a lot of effort into putting together some stuff for this show, and I know how it goes, and half of it to two-thirds of it never gets used, and I'm tired of that. I've had enough of that, and I'm telling you.
I'm not going to say a word.
Thank
you guys compare me to McCarthy during the break. I am good. I'm set for the next half hour.
Yes, trying to find closet Democrats in this room. Thanks a lot, Joe McCarthy.
Go for it, Ed.
All right, so first off is, the AOC Minute. So what's AOC done this week? Well, she's hosting Megan Rapinoe. You know who Megan Rapinoe is? Okay, you're shaking your head. Yes, you're shaking your head. I don't know. If I said, you know that phony baloney citizen of the United States who's playing for the women's soccer team
that one.
And won't go to the Trump White House? That one. The one who won't stand for the national anthem. The one who's disrespecting our country even though she's wearing the patch on her shirt. And yet, of course, she's running up the score, so it's hard to argue with that one. She has been invited by AOC to visit the House. AOC will take her for a walk around the House of Representatives and show her around because she won't go. Of course, AOC is also encouraging the workers at Wayfair Mattress. So Wayfair Mattress, who is really struggling economically right now, they get this contract from the government to supply mattresses to ICE, not ICE, but the Border Patrol, right? For these facilities that are housing women and children and men seeking asylum on our border. So our government just got this $4.5 million budget.
Billion.
Billion. I rounded off wrong, didn't I?
Yeah.
So there's all this money, and now there's money to buy these people mattresses so they're not sleeping on the floor. So Wayfair Mattress has a contract to provide these, except the union workers say, no. We're not supporting the evil Trump administration by making mattresses that our company can sell to the evil Trump administration, and AOC is egging them on. Okay, that's the AOC Minute. Other topics, border deal, Supreme Court. Hey, these are topics, folks. I got 20 minutes left. I want to talk about the Supreme Court decision at some point. And then Michigan Senator Gary Peters calls for a National Institute of Manufacturing. Oh, speaking of which, is Joe Lennart on the line? Hi, Joe.
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm not giving you the opportunity to change the topic.
Right. Well, yeah, we need to be clear here since you kind of called me out on Dick Kupke's trigger talk for changing the subject. We prearranged to talk about this, so I am not changing the subject on you.
Okay. So, quickly.
Yeah, this Manufacturing Institute, just when Trump and the GOP are trying to reduce regulations and government meddling, Gary Peters' solution to manufacturing that the Obama administration and all the Democrats said weren't coming back to America, but now under Trump we got a manufacturing boom. He wants the federal government to meddle in it, which of course does always the opposite of what they intend. It will cause it to suffer.
Why would Gary Peters bring this up right now, since he hasn't brought up any other major legislation in the previous part of his term?
Because he's up for re-election.
Oh, silly me. I should have known that.
Yeah, and then there's another thing, too, with the major border crisis, and we've got to address the asylum loopholes, the Latin Triangle loophole, the Flores decision, and Democrat states in a meltdown of homelessness. Michigan, we need infrastructure money to come back to fix the bleeping roads, and healthcare, Obama blunder needs to be fixed.
Hey, folks, if you missed any of that,
healthcare and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, under the Democrat rules, they could not all be made permanent. We need another vote to make all those tax cuts permanent. What else does he want to do? He wants the government to get involved in...
Take a breath, Joe.
I need to say something first. Somebody you're not going to allow to change the subject. He brought up 18 different subjects right
Take
there.
Take a breath, Joe.
No. One of the things that's happening, I want to get on this Gary Peters thing, just to mention that. Right now in Warren, they're shutting down the axle plant, all right? Mm-hmm. And the workers there are blaming primarily the Democrats. We have this new agreement between Mexico and Canada and everything that the president passed that would be good for us and for our laborers.
USMCA.
And Democrats are sitting on it right now in Congress. All right? It's the Democrats that are holding this up.
Yes.
And they're wondering, why is this happening? They're seeing their jobs flood to Mexico because the Democrats are sitting back on their butt. So now you got Gary Peters, who is part of the problem here, saying, well, what we really need is to start this new bureaucracy. And the truth is what he really needs to do is get this new trade deal through, and so it protects our workers. And that way GM can save some money by keeping their plants here. The Warren people are happy. The Warren people are working, and the laborers in Michigan are happy now. And
more tax dollars come in from their income. If they see that happening,
they know Trump will get the credit for it.
Right. And more tax
the
dollars.
USMCA is yet another, but the only reason I bring up the other things is all those things are important, and the only other thing he's concerned about are broadband maps.
Yeah.
Again, more government involvement in meddling. We got rid of the moronic net neutrality, but he still wants the federal government meddling in the private sector. That's a private sector issue. But the bleep out, Gary.
Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm not going to ask you if you have anything more.
I love you. Have a good one.
All right.
We love you, too.
Talk to you later. Bye. All right, we have another caller. Because we give callers all the sway over the show here, we've got Tom from Detroit. Tom, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, just before the bottom of the hour, Gary from Hazel Park was saying, how do these people get in? These Democrats, and there's a big deal going on right now. It's just come out that Google is and Facebook they're actually caught. There was a whistleblower. They have their executives caught talking about rigging the elections. Basically.
I have audio of that. Would you like to hear that? It's Jen Janai.
Sure. I'm just saying. Just trying to be real quick because I know you got other topics.
I love you, Tom. I'm not in that way, but I love you. Thank you. Derek.
Yeah, it's a good point.
We all got screwed over in 2016. Again, it wasn't just us. It was like people got screwed over. The news media got screwed over. Like, everybody got screwed over. So now we're rapidly being like, what happened there? How do we prevent it from happening again?
Right after we need to start.
2020 is certainly on top of now my old organisation, Trust and Safety, is top of mind. They've been working on it since 2016 to make sure we're ready for 2020.
They're not an objective source of information. They are a highly biased political machine that is bent on never letting somebody like Donald Trump come to power again.
He got called in front of Congress multiple times, and
I'm sorry, that she really is not coming over so well. If you can Google Jen Janai, she's a Google executive. Google Jen Janai, she's a Google executive. I like that. And she's the one who Project Veritas caught on tape, basically saying that Google is all out to suppress any vote for Donald Trump. That's their mission.
And they cannot let it happen again.
Yes, and she was critical of Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren, because Warren wanted to break up Google into smaller companies, and Jen Janai was saying, hey, smaller companies can't influence the election the way we can as a large company. That's the gist of what she was saying. I'm sorry it was kind of inaudible, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, Ed, what I would say, first of all, I would DuckDuckGo Google and to look at all the masters of the universe trying to sway the election for the Democrats, leftists, socialists, communists, whatever. But I just want to talk one second about Joe. He brought up a lot of topics, but if you boil them down and you boil down all the topics of all the callers that call in, it's about putting America first.
I thought you were going to say boil Joe.
No. This is no, but absolutely, it's all about putting America first. In all the topics on this program, point out the difference between the Democrats and the rest of the people in the U.S.
Yeah. The real people.
The real
America
people.
first.
Yeah, that's right. I've never seen AOC go down to Appalachia and look at the out-of-work coal miners or all the poor folks there and shed a tear. But she'll go down to the detention center that Obama set up and cry out and pose out into a parking lot.
Yeah, and I think you hit it. I think you actually hit both sides of this really good, Alex. The Democrats, as you was pointed out earlier, and I believe by you, is they don't, or maybe it was Ed. It's hard to tell between you NPR listeners. You all look the same. But it's the Democrats, they don't want borders. They're a one world organization. They want one world, one government worldwide. They don't want America first. They don't want that concept. They do not want the mindset that we are Americans and we have something to be proud of because we're Americans. That's not part of their plan. This is why we have soccer players disrespecting our flag and wearing the flag that they won't even stand for, or even sit there and find privilege of going to the office of the president. I mean, regardless of who's in there, that's the office of the president. That used to mean something, but it can't mean something if you're wearing a Democrat label, because you have to be against the nation concept and be for an open borders, open world concept.
Okay, Derek, if Rick says, Pastor Rick says NPR one more time, cut his mic, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the Swiss Army knife. The guy who brings this show to full fruition, the guy who's, the heartbeat of Wham! After Theron.
I'll never say those three letters again, referring to public radio that you guys listen to.
Cut him. See, Rick. Yeah. So we have Todd from Whitmore Lake online. And Todd, can you make it quick? Because I got something I wanted to mention else. Todd?
Yeah, hey guys, what's happening? No problem. Thank you. I'll make it quick. As far as it goes for Elizabeth Warren and you guys calling her Poca, Foca, whatever, Hontus, she should be known around here as Liawatha. Right?
Say it again?
Liawatha.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Liawatha.
She's Liawatha. But also DuckDuckGo, if you can't use DuckDuckGo, well, Start Page is great because they're the same as DuckDuckGo with a little more security. And on that note, also listen to Theron's show on podcast from Thursday because he laid out his whole show for the 3 hours of exactly how we got where we are today, back from the early ages before you were a thought.
Yep, and if you want to find the link to Theron's show, that's at whamradio.com. Follow the links there to Coolarity Radio, and you can see the archives for Theron's show. It's always good to listen to. There's always good callers that come in. And Todd, hang on the line for a second. You may want to speak to this. I wanted to bring up the Supreme Court and two very important rulings they just came out with this week. And one of them rather favorable to us, and then one of them kind of weird. And the one is there was a question of whether they were going to support federal restrictions on what we call gerrymandering, redistricting. So there's a census every 10 years, and the result of the census shows us where the population shifts are and how the House of Representatives and thus the Electoral College are supposed to be divvied up for votes. So some states that grow in population, they get more House of Representatives, more electors, and others get less. Well, if you have a bunch of illegal immigrants filling out a census form and you've got 5